Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, this is Jennie Walker, and welcome to Closet Conversations. Today was a really big day for Poshmark. They went public on the NASDAQ stock exchange. Their offering price was $42 a share. They opened at $97.50 and closed at $101.50 per share. That's up 141.67%, or $59.50 over the share price of $42. And that is truly astounding. For people who participated in the IPO, they had a chance to pocket $590.50 if they bought 10 shares, all the way up to $8,925 if they had purchased 150 shares at the IPO price of $42. That's some sweet, sweet cheddar. Yeah, I'm excited to report on it. Before I get into it, I would just like to say that this is all for entertainment purposes. I am not a financial professional. None of this is financial advice. This is simply my take and my personal experience and my views on Poshmark. So with that out of the way, let's get down to business. This is extraordinary because this far and away blows away what the Real did when they went public. And I think it is fundamentally because these are two completely different business models. It's also a different time. So much has changed in the secondary market due to the virus and all kinds of things that have happened that had not happened when before Real went public. But this is just extraordinary. And there's a limited number of shares on the market. And this was a really great day. And I think it bodes well for Poshmark. I was able to participate in the IPO because I am a Poshmark ambassador, although nothing was guaranteed. They did send out emails to people alerting them. And there was some feedback on Instagram about people who missed out, who weren't very happy about it, and thinking that this needs to be said. The market is a very serious business. It's highly regulated. People go to jail that don't do this the right way. I mean, Poshmark and their staff cannot talk about it. And it's interesting for people to understand the industry is, you know, a company that's going public is not going to say, hey, we're going public and you should participate. They can't do that. It's not allowed. You can't talk about it. You can't say anything about it. All you can do is factually present information to people, which is what they did. They presented their Poshmark and ambassador a very straightforward way to participate through Fidelity. If you wanted to participate, you had to take initiative and get involved in it, which is what I did. I actually, when I got my message, I knew I wanted to participate, so I tried to create an account on Fidelity and didn't get too far. And it turns out I had some old accounts from years and years ago. They still had my email, still had information, had my old married name, all this kind of thing. So I actually called Fidelity and worked one-on-one with the people who handle IPOs to get everything straightened out with my account, to make sure everything was in order so that when the time came for this to happen, I'd be ready. Now, if you read all the information on it, no one was guaranteed any amount of shares at all. And it was all about supply and demand, and depending on the number of people wanted to be involved, that's how they would allocate it. And also, there were two tiers of allocation, depending on how long you had been with Poshmark and how long you'd been an ambassador. So they had to find a way to divide it. So when I heard people on Instagram talking about, I didn't get my follow-up email, there could be some reason. One, you didn't qualify, or two, you didn't take the right steps with the first email to ensure, or three, you didn't pick up the phone and call somebody at Fidelity to make sure that you were involved. And so this is serious business, the stock market. This is not this is not like, woo, Poshmark. I mean, it's serious, highly regulated, and it's a wonderful way if you want to learn about the stock market, if you have not been involved, to learn about investing. And, you know, this is something to talk to professionals about. This is something to get advice on, is should you invest in the stock market, number one, and number two, should you invest in Poshmark? No one can answer that for you except the right people. And so I think it's very important for people who are listening, and, you know, most of the people who listen to my podcast are resellers, is to take it seriously. And on the other hand, I am not afraid of the stock market because, as I mentioned in other podcasts, I worked in a brokerage firm about 6 to 7 years. I'm very familiar with investing in stocks, so I have a lot of knowledge to draw from on how these things work. And I think even I didn't fully appreciate the IPO. And while I'm not going to disclose how many shares I bought, somewhere between 10 and 150, when it performed so well, I'm like, boy, I should have bought more, because it's that one opportunity to get it at a discount at the beginning before it hits the market that is so precious. Now, it could have just as easily gone the other way, but it didn't. It went up 141%, and a lot of stocks never go up 141% in their entire life on the market. So, I mean, this is pretty extraordinary. It does bode well for the secondary market. It bodes well for the Poshmark platform, and it speaks volumes about people who want to get involved in this. Now, one of the things that I thought was important to mention is that, okay, so the prices closed at $101.50 today on the 14th, and I am looking in my Webull app at the after hours, because Webull is one of the apps that will provide you with pre-market information. You can get involved before the market opens and even after. That's something they do other people don't do. And so I'm sitting here looking at the after hours, and it has continued. It has risen 50 cents in this very moment that I'm recording this, which is at 10:06 p.m. on the 14th. It's risen 50 cents, so it's at $102 a share in the aftermarket, according to Webull. Yeah, and the range in the day was $91.01 to $104.98, and the volume of shares traded was 9.89 million. Wow, that is a lot to take in. So, okay, so you didn't participate in the IPO. No big deal. If you are interested in this, again, you have to advise with the right people. But if you want to get involved in buying Poshmark stock, with a lot of these apps, you don't have to buy a whole share. You can literally invest $1. That's the beauty of some of these apps. You can invest $1, $5, $10. Actually a dollar amount. It doesn't have to be a full share. All accounts don't offer that. So it's really important, if you are looking to spend less than $100 or $102, to know that there's tons of easy ways to get involved in buying stock on a lot of these apps. And you can just invest $1, $2, $5, $10, whatever you want to invest. Perhaps if it's right for you, you could say, okay, I'm going to take a percentage of my money that I make on Poshmark and, buy stock with it. I mean, buying stock is the ultimate involvement in community with Poshmark. And I actually mentioned this to Manish. I actually met him in 2019 at the Phoenix, Arizona conference there. And because I had been a real shareholder, I asked him, and now he couldn't answer me. It's so funny because I'd forgotten how regulated they were, but I asked him about, when they went public, maybe we'd have a chance to participate as Poshmark sellers, and maybe there'd be some way we could, perhaps invest some of our earnings into the stock. And he says, I really can't comment on that. And I thought, oh, gosh, I forgot. They can't talk about it. And this is the thing. They can't talk about it. They still can't talk about it for, I think, 40 days after today? Those are the rules. And so, obviously, other people have expressed interest in Poshmark community members being involved, because it has come to the point where they did make that offer to us. And that was such a beautiful thing. And hopefully, if they do future offerings of stock, because depending on a lot of things, they'll have another offering, and perhaps they will give us an opportunity to participate again. But in the meantime, there's nothing to prevent you from investing in Poshmark as a stockholder, but it is serious business. You can just as easily lose your shirts and every dime as you can make money. The market is guaranteed to go up and go down. I mean, if I can guarantee you one thing, the price will go up and down and up and down and up and down. That's what stocks do. But this is an emerging growth company, so this is kind of stock does not pay a dividend at this point. What is a dividend? That's when companies have profits and they share them with their shareholders. You'll hear in the news, AT&T paid, $2.58 per share to their shareholders, that kind of thing. Solid, more seasoned companies that are making big profits, and they're very stable in their profit making, like Coca-Cola and AT&T and Apple. I mean, these are the kind of companies that are paying dividends to shareholders. And even when you get a dividend, you can choose to take it or you can choose to reinvest it, and a lot of people do, and as a way to grow their portfolios. Again, I would say that there's a lot of people in the Poshmark community that are very excited by this, and I, in my personal opinion, am very excited by this. And one of the things I'm going to do personally is to consider how much of my Poshmark earnings I would like to invest in Poshmark stock. That is something that I am making decisions about with my financial counsel and, of course, my knowledge of the stock market. And, this could be any company, but we're not talking about any company. We're talking about Poshmark that is so built on community and so built on the excitement. Now, they're public, and so everything changes. I mean, there's a lot of people looking at Poshmark right now, and a lot of people are going to be looking at Poshmark who have no idea about the insides of how it works, And all I can say is, as resellers, we have a terrific insight into everything that works and everything that's great about the platform and all of the areas of change that are needed. I have sell on multiple platforms, so I'm very familiar with how it's different from an eBay or from a RealReal or a ThreadUp. But I think the most important thing, my takeaway was, is that in this moment, Poshmark did better than the RealReal when they went public. It's a different place and time, but the other thing that's interesting is that their business model is more similar to an eBay than a RealReal or a ThreadUp, which is the consignment model. And as someone who owns a consignment shop, I can tell you that scaling is a lot more effort, and the company itself has to spend a lot more money doing all of the pieces of work that has to be done when you take possession of someone's goods. As an online platform that they're providing that's social, they're providing the platform and the regulating the platform, but we as resellers are doing all of the work, and that is a huge distinction. And to me, it gives Poshmark the ability to scale so much faster than another company that might be consignment. And everything about once you go public is about how quickly can you grow and how quickly can you increase your earnings. And it's all about the pace of what you do. You don't have a leisure pace anymore. People have expectations. It affects the price of the stock, et cetera, et cetera. So it will be really interesting to see how quickly some things roll out. My feeling is a lot of times when companies are public around earnings times or they have a different time frame to get things done and out into the market, not to rush them out to market, but suddenly, say they open up the Canadian border, boom, that's going to potentially, this is my opinion, look favorable to investors, and something like that might drive the stock of the price up. Let's say they open up in the UK, something like that. Every time they make an announcement like that, now the stock market is going to judge it favorably or negatively. That's the thing about being public, is that every little thing you do, people judge it. They judge it with their wallets, whether they're buying or selling the stock or holding on to it. Every little thing makes a difference. If the economy tanks, it makes a difference. If there's a huge stimulus, it makes a difference. Everything to do with job reports and the economy in general, there's all these factors that go into determining how the market feels about a company on a given day. And this is more, it's like, if you think about the stock market and how every single day it decides how it feels about you as a company, I don't have any relationship in my life that takes this much close look as the stock market does to stocks on the market. Every little thing, we've seen Tesla as a great example of if Elon Musk is seen smoking a joint affects the stock price, if there's a recall, if they're expanding into India, like every little thing about a stock affects it. And it's because the people behind the market are looking for reasons every single day to buy or sell a stock. And some people are shorts, and some people hold it for the long term, and some are bulls and some are bears. And, bullish is I think it's going up, and bearish means it's headed down. So there's a lot of little things about the stock market that you're going to learn. So Jim Cramer is someone who is excellent. If you don't know him, you can see him on YouTube every day. He is doing a profile about stocks. He mentioned Poshmark today is a new IPO. That is someone, if you're wanting to learn about investing, definitely check out Jim Cramer. I highly recommend him. He's very seasoned, and he's so fun to watch, too. He's very charismatic. I can see why he has his own show. I mean, it's nothing but him and some buttons and like call it. It's just funny. He just makes it work. So definitely check him out if you're wanting to learn more about the stock market in general. I find that I consume tons and tons of investment information online, in addition to all kinds of notices that I get. If you end up signing up for a brokerage account with some of these apps, you can get news feeds and information on your stocks every single day. They will do the work for you. And this is such a beautiful thing. Now, if you're wanting to learn more about Poshmark, they have updated their website. Now, if you're a reseller, you need to log out of your website to see it. Log out of Poshmark and just go to Poshmark.com when you're not logged in. And at the very bottom of the homepage, it says like investors. Click on that, and that gives you an opportunity to go in and see every filing they've done, every press release, and it also gives you an opportunity to sign up for their emails. And those emails are their earnings reports, how much the stock closes for every day, et cetera, et cetera. So definitely it's free. It's public information. If you want to follow Poshmark's Stock Market Live, I highly recommend you go to Poshmark.com, make sure you're logged out. And I wish they'd fix it where you could see it where you're logged in, but it's very, very difficult. You can't get to it that way. So make sure you're logged out. Go to investors and read up all you can and sign up for those free emails alerts, and that'll help you stay on top of all this. So the other thing I want to tell you about is some of these stock market companies that have these apps you can have in now, they allow you just to buy a little bit of stock, $1, $5, $10. They provide you the news, the commentary. This Webull app even has a place where you can see how many orders, the order flow coming in at a time. And I had tried that out on some stocks I was looking at before I made a purchase decision. And literally you could see it trending up and trending down. It was fascinating to watch the order flow. And it actually helped me time when I bought some Tesla to kind of see where it was. So I highly recommend that to you. And, it's exciting times. So that's kind of it. That's all I wanted to talk to you about today. Poshmark is off to a great start. I'm very proud of them. I think this is fantastic news. If you want to get involved, again, talk with some people, the professionals about it, but I can help you with, I do have an affiliate code and hashtag advertisement here. I do have an affiliate code on my Instagram page for Webull, and what they do is when you open up an account, it's like Russian roulette. You can get 2 free stocks in you if you make your initial deposit of a minimum of $100, you get another 2 free stocks. I did that when I signed up with someone's affiliate code, and I think I got a $20 stock and like a $5 stock and an $11 stock and like a $2 stock. I didn't get the $1,600 stock, but because I later, once those stocks settled and I made some decisions later, I ended up selling all of those and buying something else with the proceeds. But it's customer acquisition costs, and these online brokerage accounts are doing a lot these days to get people involved. So I have a couple of them on my Instagram. If you click on the bio link, and if you're looking for something like that, perhaps that would be of assistance to you. Again, there's a lot of choices out there. Talk to investment professionals. There's many, 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 many choices for brokerage accounts. But they don't all offer the ability to just, put in to buy a fractional share or a slice, depending on how they want to term it. So definitely check with that. This is a great day for Poshmark. I'm so proud of them. I look forward to investing further in the company. It's a wonderful way to get involved. It's a wonderful way to get involved in investing, and it's something that I'm going to be doing. And that's it. This is Jennie Walker with Closet Conversations. If you like what you heard today, please give it a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, or a review. That would be terrific. If you'd like to get more information or be in touch with me, definitely be in touch with me on Instagram at my closet. It's not even a closet. What do you call it? My Instagram page is JennieGirl Closet on Instagram. You can always get in touch with me there, and I look forward to having you with me on a future episode.